My name is Matthew Gaddy, and I'm a true productivity coach, which means I teach my clients how to manage their action, their attention, and their energy to get the right things done. Welcome to this video. We are going to be talking about something that I have been noticing is a problem for a while now. And being a productivity coach, it kind of bothers me because this isn't the way it's supposed to be. And so I guess the title of this one is The Problem with Grind Culture. So we as millennials, and I'll just speak on millennials and my own experience because that's what I can talk about accurately. We've seen quote unquote grind and entrepreneur culture exemplified and praised on social media, on our movies, and kind of stepping back on what grind culture is. Grind culture is a culture where you're trying to get ahead and whatever you're doing. So you could be grinding, working hard, working extended hours, making sure that you are giving your full effort to something for an extended period of time. And a lot of times the way that it's shown is that someone is always on the grind. They're always working hard. They're always striving to become to climb up whatever ladder that they have chosen to climb. And we have a society of glorified this chase, and there's nothing, let's say, wrong with that in and of itself, but it's incomplete. Grind culture should not be seen as something that needs to be a constant state, and that's my issue that I have with it, is that the way grind culture is grinding, I want to stop saying grind culture, grinding is shown to us as a whole is something that is continuous, as a linear pathway, as it's you're always grinding, you're always working hard, you're always trying to strive to get to that next level. And the problem with this is that it's not congruent with the way that our bodies naturally work. It's also not taking advantage of the tools that we have in this millennium in 2019. If the answer to some of your problems is to work harder, 80% of the time you're doing it wrong, and you could be doing it more efficiently. If there is a toll that has to be paid as you're trying to get something off the ground, as you try to get your business from 0 to 1, as you try to move up this corporate ladder, there is sweat equity that's involved. But this constant grind and this constant progression and constant work with no time off, and demonizing the time off, demonizing the need for adequate amounts of sleep, and the glorification of went to sleep at 4 a.m. because I was working on my dreams. I slept for 2 hours and I woke up and I kept pursuing it. It's literally killing us because we are not giving our bodies adequate time to recover. And I'm looking at my notes here. There's nothing wrong with grinding, but if you're not taking time to recover and reflect, you're doing it wrong. You can't focus on something and reflect on something at the same time. When you're focusing on something during the grind, you're actively doing it. You're actively creating email campaigns. You're actively working towards some particular goal, but you're not able to step back from that and focus on that at the same time. Either two antithetical principles or two antithetical thought processes, and you can't do them both. With the reflection comes the observation of what we've done and that chance for improvement, and is this really working? When we're grinding, we're just constantly produce. What we may be making is quality, and what we may be making may not be quality, but we'll never find out if we're not taking time to step back. Grind culture in that iteration, that example, is one that prioritizes quantity or capacity over quality. And we will never be able to tell the difference of which category you fall in, this quantity and quality, if you're not taking time to step back and look back at the work that you've been doing and analyze it from a point of view and saying, is this up to spec of what I want to do? Is this high enough quality to be respected? Am I just putting things out to put things out, or am I putting them out to be impactful? And these things can only happen when we step away from the work and look at it objectively and just kind of, we have to step away long enough to see what we've done. When you're in something, you can't see the thing because you're in it. You can only see the entire picture once you step back. We also have to have time to recover for our body's sake. The 4 different types of energy: you have your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. And if you are always expending these and you're never taking time to restore them, you will run into situations where you have spent yourself and now you are no longer useful. You're no longer able to continue to produce because your body says, hey, I need to recover and I'm going to make you recover. And you crash. I saw on Instagram an entrepreneur who I follow, and I think it was last week, a couple of days ago, he was in the hospital because he exhausted himself because he was on the grind and he wasn't getting enough sleep and he was expending himself for too long. And he was in the hospital and he had to take the whole day off. And the thing with that is that we need to make sure that we build this recovery time for these energy levels into our days, or we are going to damage ourselves more in the long run. A win today could lead to a larger setback tomorrow, or maybe not even tomorrow, but in the future, because we're damaging these energy levels. And when you're not taking time to restore them, and you're completely depleting them over and over and over and over again, they begin to become weaker and weaker and weaker. An example is just working out. Working out is great, and you need to make sure that in order to make gains, you need to make sure that you're progressive overloading. So every so often, go a little bit, lift a little bit more than you thought you could, lift a little bit more, lift a little bit more, lift a little bit more. And when you're doing that carefully and strategically, and you're doing that in conjunction with recovery so that your muscle fibers can grow back together stronger, you get stronger over time. But if you go into the gym and you haven't been in the gym for a while and you just go balls to the walls and you're trying to lift everything and push all the weight, 1, you could tear a muscle. 2, the next day, you're going to wish you had torn a muscle because you're going to be so sore. And that's a physical representation of that energy being depleted. We're not giving ourselves enough to recover, and we're expending ourselves so much that the downtime is detrimental to the progression of our goal. And those are the 2 big things: reflection and restoration. So don't get caught up in this grind culture, continuous movement, linear energy that stays at the same level all the time, regardless of the time or day. It's not true. And if you continue to behave like that in a long-term setting, the effects of that could be detrimental to your ultimate goal. It could keep you from doing that. And this isn't me demonizing grinding per se, because there are times where you need to grind, you need to put your blinders on and do what you have to do to get things done. But if those are not taken in conjunction with the restoration and the observation time, the recovery and reflection time, that becomes worthless. You're working hard and you're destroying your body, and you really don't even know if you're doing a good job, because you're not taking the time to step back and observe what you're doing with a clear eye. You're stepping outside of the problem to look at the problem. Anyway, those are my thoughts on grind culture. And if you guys have feedback, if you got comments, if you're like, yo, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard, let me know. This is like, yo, this is great. Share it with people that need to hear this. And this is just my thoughts. These are just some of the things that I come up with as I'm looking at productivity and how things work, and the energy levels and fluctuations, and how we can get better things done by listening to ourselves and taking care of ourselves and maintaining our optimum state. And that's pretty much all I have. If you guys could, I think it's either here or here. If you like information like this, please sign up to my email list, and you will be informed of 1, when my hyper focus and defeating distractions course will be ready, and 2, getting great information like this presented in your email. And you'll be able to contact me there too if you're like, yo, my thumbs hurt from typing this whole thing out and you just want to use your whole fingers or keyboard to type me a question. My email and everything will be there too. So you guys have a great day. You guys have a productive day. Thank you for sticking with me so long, and I appreciate you guys. Bye.